Hey everyone, can you hear me okay?
That's some what?
Woohoo!
Yes. Good
All
morning.
right, all right. We're gonna get started here just in a couple moments, just waiting on the rest of the panelists to come up here. Michelle, Kristen, I think I got Kyle and Trenton. Trenton, welcome. Well, we can get this
Hey,
party
how's it? All
started,
right.
guys. Oh, there you go, Kyle. Okay. Guys, welcome to this week's episode of ICONversations. I'm excited to be here. My name is Ray Meyer. I'm an ICON agent in Fresno, California, which is smack dab in the middle of the state. Um, I'll be your moderator for today, and we have four amazing guests who I'm interested in understanding how they operate their business and just digging deep in how they got to their icon status. So we'll do some introductions. The four panelists that we have today is Kyle Bender from North Carolina, Michelle Rinaldi from Florida, Kristen Vining from South Carolina, and Trenton Dunn from Georgia. And we'll start off with some introductions in that order. Kyle Bender, if you can introduce yourself, just what city you serve, and what your business looks like briefly.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. I actually here in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. So it's great to be up here with Kristen because she's right here on the border as well. Our team has 6 sales agents. We have 4 admin, and we will sell $65 million this year as a team.
Very good. Thank you for that. Michelle?
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name's Michelle Rinaldi. I am a condo specialist. I specialize in selling oceanfront condos in South Florida. This is my 3rd year with EXP, and it will be my 2nd making Icon. And this year, I am probably on track to do around 15 million. I'm a solo agent, so I just do it all.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. Kristen?
Hey everyone, I'm Kristen Vining. Kyle, it's so good to see you up here, buddy, and so nice to meet everyone. I'm a husband, listen to me. We're a husband-wife team. We're very small. We'll do about 30 million this year. We just added a couple of more agents, so we're a total of 5 agents, 2 admin, and we are just rolling into our 3rd. We should hit Icon in the next couple of transactions, so this will be our 3rd time Iconing.
Wow, very good. Very good. Thank you. Trenton, you're up.
Hey, my name is Trenton Dunn. I work the Atlanta market. Been licensed since 2017. I've been in real estate. I started off as an investor. So I kind of backed into being an agent. I really basically got my license so I can kind of do my own deals and have more access to more information and resources. Got licensed 2017, joined EXP, got my broker license last year. I just hit Icon for the first time. I just basically work with investors. I don't really work with retail buyers and sellers. I just work with large investors and investment funds. So I'm able to basically acquire properties through their financial resources, and that's how I basically get all my listings and how I reach Icon status.
Very good. Thank you, Trenton. Appreciate that. Well, everybody, I did want to let the audience know, if you guys got questions while we're going through our session today, feel free to drop your questions into the chat, and we'll do our best to answer those either live or we'll type responses if we can do that. And we'll start off just with a list of questions that we have to dig into our businesses and share what we got for the audience here. The first question is going to be, to what do you contribute your Icon success? How did you get there, and how long did it take you to reach that level of production? We'll start in the same order that we went for intros. Kyle.
So I just got over to EXP about a year ago, and I had my own independent brokerage before. This was all new to me. The icon thing was new to me, trying to understand it. Kristen actually explained some stuff to me as well, but it was, for the individual agents, it's probably a bit harder. For us with our team, our team is set up as 50-50 splits. So I get a little piece of everybody else in the team sales too. So for me to be icon, like I wish my whole team was up here talking to everybody to explain, how we do things, but it was really came in, I think within the first 2 months, we already hit our I hit my cap of 16,000. And then one more month, might've been 2 more months after that, it was the extra $5,000 paid in the EXP.
Wow. Okay. Do you mind sharing too what your price point is, just so the audience has an idea?
Yeah, our average sale price is about 300,000. Each year we try to bump it a little bit, but it is Charlotte market. I mean, there's some really nice luxury homes here, and then there's kind of feel like the lower end affordable homes are kind of going further away. But yeah, I'd say 300,000 right now.
Awesome. Yeah, same here. Very good. Okay, Michelle.
So I am probably, I don't know, maybe just a couple transactions away. I mean, I've got a bunch of properties pending. So once those close, I'll make icon status probably this month. It'll be my second time. It's my third year with EXP. My first year, I was really just kind of getting acclimated with everything, and it wasn't really on my mind to make icon, just to keep my business moving in an upward direction. But in my second year, I really made it a goal. It was just definitely something I wanted to accomplish. My hurdle to making icon was that I would say my average transaction could be around $500,000 to $800,000. So it was making the transactions, like I'll sell 10, 12 million, no problem, but it'll be less transactions than I needed. So that was something I really just was very intentional on, tracking it and looking and making sure I got those transactions to make icon.
Very good. Thanks, Michelle. Kristen.
So, like Kyle mentioned, I really wish our entire team was standing up here right now. My role on the team as the director of marketing and team lead, and I still work with buyers and sellers, just not to the degree in which they do. So, us reaching this icon status has everything to do with it being a team effort. We have many different ways that we incentivize our teammates to reach certain levels of production. And we came from KW. We were there for a little over 3 years, and many people had over the years tried to bring us in over here, like, have you heard of EXP? And the answer was always no. I bled red. I served on the ALC. I was at every family reunion, at every mega camp, and just bled it. There was nothing better. And then my husband got picked up by Miss Keely Tays, and it wasn't but 15 minutes into watching Brent Gove's video that he was like, Kristen, what's this EXP thing? And he sent it our way. So I guess he sent it my way, and then I was like, okay, well, I don't know what this is either, but I think we need to open up our eyes and maybe do a little due diligence. And 3 weeks later, it was undeniable. The one question we asked ourselves, that I asked myself rather, was, what do we have to lose? What do we have to lose by going? So it doesn't work out, we go back. Doesn't work out, we start our own independent brokerage. Doesn't work out, we maybe go and align with another brokerage. And here we are 3 years later, and I can't imagine turning back. Iconing is a huge thing, and the gifts that we're given by this company. And I think we're all watching EXP high stock right now. It's a game changer. And I remember Gene Frederick telling me about a year ago when he was in town. He's like, Kristen, he goes, it's the stock at EXP that's going to make us all wealthy. It's the stock at EXP that's going to be, it's going to help set us into, our retirement years. And boy, was he ever right. But, in terms of like, it's very much a team effort in terms of how we get to the icon status. And the way that we do it is with just sheer hustle. It's sheer grit. We work the absolute hound out of social media. Facebook is my business card. When people ask for my business card, it is, I don't have one. However, are you on Facebook? And if you're on Facebook, then I immediately go over and find them, and we start communicating there, because now here I can touch them every single day with valuable content that may or may not at that time be relevant, but they're watching. They might not be liking things or loving things or caring about things or commenting on things. But at the end of the day, they're watching. And point in case this morning, I had a direct message come over from a past client, and that it's free, and it's a beautiful way for us to touch our prospective clients, our past clients. And here she's like, I want to build a $400,000 house. I'm in this area still. Are you able to help me? And of course I can help you. So, for us, social media is everything. And it's just a really great way for us to connect. And I attribute a lot of our success to our social media efforts.
Awesome. Spot on with everything, Kristen. I appreciate that. Looking forward to digging in more into your day-to-day business. Trenton.
Yes. Yeah. So my success kind of comes from working with, like I mentioned, working with investors. It started from just building relationships. So initially, I built relationships by going to local investor meetings and groups just to find out where the money was, like who has money, what kind of money do they have, what are they looking for, what's their appetite. And these might be individual investors, just the everyday investor. After meeting those people, my network built up to the point where I'm talking to larger investors that might be working with more cash. And then it turned into working with institutional investors who have funds like hedge funds and people that operate that way, where they're looking for agents, operators, and brokers that have experience going out, finding deals, prospecting new deals, and bringing them to the table for them to invest in. So there's just a lot of money out there right now, especially in my market. So I focus on sub-markets. I focus on emerging markets. So these are areas that are on the cusp of growth. So those are really attractive to investors. So I my average price point is like 150 to 200. So I have to do a lot of volume to really see stuff, but I try to set deals up where investors can possibly buy in bulk that are looking for big deals. So that's what I try to do, go out and I first prospect the money, and then I prospect deals. So I go out and try to find deals, try to find people who are trying to, liquidate some assets they might have, try to find people who are just looking to sell, regular mom and pop, owners who are looking to sell their homes. And then I try to line that up with cash investors, very similar to the iBuyer program that XP gives us, the Express offers. So it's very similar to that, but just finding other institutional investors that are just looking to buy, and then finding deals that line up with them. So between building those networks of people and investors with money, and then trying to build networks of finding folks that have real estate to sell, that's how I was able to build up to a volume where I do on average about 100 or so transactions a year. I'm trying to build out my retail residential sales, where I can work with the everyday buyer and seller and start building up transactions. So I'm working on building up that line of business now. Very
good. Awesome. I love how all of our stories and businesses differ, and I say, well, being able to share that with the crowd here, I think is everybody has some notes to take. Just a follow-on question with your guys' business and how you got to icon status. I want to know, some of this is your first time, second time, third time reaching icon status. I'm curious to see if how you guys feel when you get awarded the stock. And initially, when you first came to EXP, was it something that was a priority for you in order to reach icon status? And then after you reached icon status, Watching the stock and where it is today, how does that make you feel overall about, the process and becoming an icon, and what does it mean to you at this point? Is it the same from when you first started? And anybody can jump in here if you want to share.
I'll go again first.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Like I said, I got here a year ago. I've been tracking the stock because Kristen, Keely, some of the other people that are here way before me were like, hey, you got to look at this, you got to look at this. And I'm not huge into stocks. I mean, my portfolio is in real estate, but I can tell you ever since I saw these opportunities, we jumped in last year and the stock was down at like $9 or $10. And if you guys looked at it just now, it's 58 or something like that, I think, which is just silly. So once you icon, when they give you your basically you get your money back, right? I'm blown away. I've also, if you guys aren't doing this, and you don't have to, but ever since I started, I was putting my 5% of commissions in there, buying the stock anyways, because they're letting you buy the stock at a discount. It's awesome. It has changed. I don't want to say it's changed my world, but it's looking at this money sitting in here is unbelievable for me.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, just watching it accrue for the same activities that you might have already been doing at, another brokerage. It's amazing to open up that account and kind of see how it's grown. I think the stock I just peeked at, it's at $57 a share right now. Does anybody else have anything to add to what Kyle said?
Yeah, I love it. I actually, as the stock has been riding up, I actually took some cash. I took some off the table and I used that to buy some real estate. So I built my own real estate portfolio as well. So it's been awesome. I love it. I made sure I actually, when I started, I didn't contribute. I wasn't doing the contributions. And then, I started talking to some more people. They're like, you need to do it, like contribute, and then I got back into the program. I've been contributing, and then I saw I was there for the whole ride up, with the stock price going up. And during that time, I probably should have let some of it ride up a little bit longer, but I took some off the table. I reinvested it in some real estate and left the rest in, let it keep riding up. So I love it. It's a great tool, a great resource to have, and yeah, it's a no-brainer.
I'm with you guys. I am I'm like a kid in a candy store, just so anxious to see, what the tide is going to bring in each day with the rising stock. Again, we came over in July of 2018. So just rolled over into year 3 with the company. And I mean, humbly and excitedly, here we are today, 3 years later, with more than $500,000 sitting in that bucket of money, right? We talk about the Rich Tomasinis of the world, and Keely, like we talk about this all the time, how there's 3 different lanes in which for us to be able to make money with EXP. And first and foremost, it's production, right? That's the engine that makes this all possible. If we're not selling real estate, then none of the other stuff can happen. But then you've got the stock lane, and then you've got revenue share lane. And I mean, it's the fact that our family, my husband and I, have been able to purchase a beautiful lot in our area, and we're in the midst of designing and planning our dream home. It's all possible in a much shorter time period than what we thought it was going to be, because of these additional streams of revenue. And I use it in my everyday language, like a good book, like a great movie, like a good restaurant. We share those things. But I can't remember the last time I got a coupon for inviting a friend of mine to go to, Hickory Tavern or a Napa or wherever for dinner, just because I referred them. And here we're in a position that we get to share this unbelievable brokerage with so many. And it's not, it doesn't have to feel slimy or dirty or like a recruiting thing. I mean, look at what this company's doing. How would people not want to be part of all this excitement? We just have to just share it and just share our experiences with others. So yeah, for me, I'm just tickled pink watching it all come to fruition.
Yeah, I love how you broke everything down. That's amazing. Michelle, anything to add before next question?
Yeah, I was a trader on Wall Street. That's what I did after I graduated from college. So for me, the stock just kind of was one of the elements of EXP that really caught my attention. So when I mean, if I could invest 50% of my commissions in stock, I would have. Like, I wish it was more than just the 5%. I've been doing that straight from the get-go. So yeah, that was really important to me, especially, somebody with a Wall Street background. That was something that really appealed to me right away, that, you really can't get anywhere else. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Very good. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for sharing. Got your take on the Icon Award and what that means to you guys. We want to dig into the nitty gritty. So we're going to start with your schedule on a daily basis. Some top agents that I know of have a rigid schedule, or they're early birds and they do miracle mornings and all that kind of stuff. Some people, every day is different to them. They don't time block, but they understand their high dollar producing activities. What is your guys' daily schedules in a typical day look like? And with that, what's your number one priority every single day? And we'll start. I'm going to call you guys out just so we don't talk over each other. We'll start with Trenton.
Yeah. My days are usually, I try to schedule meetings on certain days so I can have meetings with certain key people on my team. So I do, I'm creating a full service real estate firm where I do acquisitions. We do lead acquisitions and do development, ground up development. We do property management, and we do asset management, and we do sales. So I have some people already on my team that they're not agents, but people that I've hired on my team to kind of manage a lot of things that are going on. So I schedule meetings to talk with them at least 3 times a week, to do check-ins. Some of the field agents and other EXP agents that I partner with and I work with, I'll set up times to speak with them, just talk about leads that I might have sent them and just following up on certain things. And I try to leave some days free as well, so I don't bog myself down and load my calendar up. I try to leave days free for just catching up on personal administrative things I need to do, and then also leaving time just for free thought. I like free time just to not have any phone calls, no emails, and I'm able to just like let my mind just kind of wander and think up new things and think of new business development ideas or research new things, and sit in meetings like this and talk and collaborate with others. So I try to definitely create time for growth and collaboration and free thought. I think that's really important, and get your head out of the weeds and kind of get that, that high view of your business and making sure that I'm headed in the right direction for growth.
That's awesome. Thank you, Trent. Appreciate that. Kristen, we'll go with you next.
That was great, Trenton. Thank you for that. The schedule, right? I wish I could follow a timeline similar to that of a teacher, where every minute of the day is time blocked. Unfortunately, my personality doesn't allow for that. But there are several people on our team whose personalities are very much that way, specifically our director of operations and our director of training. And that's the beauty of this world. We all have different DNA, right? So, for me, I feel like all day long working on income producing activity, whether it's, prospecting for buyers or sellers, carving out time to update social media, spending time, kind of researching the market and discovering new potential investments, because, I've been flipping houses here lately. And out of that, interestingly enough, there's just so many ways in which to build relationships with people, in which to be able to find buyers and sellers. I mean, I'm finding buyers and sellers out of homes that I'm putting on the market that I'm flipping, or that the trades I'm working with, I'm building those relationships. And as a result, they're now trusting us as a source to send, you know, their sphere to. So for us, in terms of like my day to day is, if I have a hard appointment, yes, it gets calendared so that none of us forget it. The entire team can see the calendar so that they know where I'm at. And if there's not something on my calendar, you know, I'm typically open at that time, and reachable via text or phone. But I think the biggest piece of advice there that I can give, because it was given to me, is just to have grace with that. Just because someone else may excel at mastering a calendar and sticking to that calendar, don't beat yourself up if you're not made that way. Just so long as you are getting the job done, and reaching your goals, then whatever it takes in which to get there for you, and whatever that best practice is for you, and what you're going to stick with, right, is what you should do.
Very well said. Very well said. Thank you, Kristen. Michelle, we'll go with you next.
I don't really keep a schedule. I still have littles in my house. My kids are small, so I've got a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old and a 13-year-old. So my schedule is kind of all over the place, and I work out of my house. But I'm really super fortunate because, like I said, I specialize in the condo market. So my day really doesn't start. I don't even show property until usually around 10:30. Nobody wants to go look at property at 9 a.m. And because I'm dealing with a lot of people who are buying second or third homes for vacation, I don't usually work on the weekend, and I don't usually work on the evenings. Like my day is literally maybe 10 to 4. I've been really super busy the last couple weeks because this is the time where a lot of my owners want to rent out their properties that I've sold them. So I've got a lot of leases going on, seasonal leases, annual leases, and because of COVID, a lot of Canadians can't come to the US, so I'm super swamped with that. So this is a little bit different time. Like I was doing paperwork last night until like 7:30, and then this morning at 7:30. But I don't keep a schedule. I mean, I think the most consistent thing about real estate is inconsistency. So I mean, I can say, oh, hey, yeah, let's do this at 2:00, or even today, I told her, I'll call you at 10:30, and then I got sidetracked with somebody whose property we're about to put under contract, and then they need to find. So I don't know, like it changes. As consistent as I want to be, I've just had to learn to to kind of roll with it every day, and be adaptable and bendable, and not be rigid. So that I learned that after I had my first daughter. Like everything's not going to go exactly how you have planned, and I'm like obsessive with things. When I book showings, I'm down to the minute. Like we're here at 10:15, or we're here at 11:45, and it's not always like that. So I just you just got to go with it, and smile, and everything's gonna kind of work out. It's not the end of the world if you don't have a tight schedule. I don't. I just I plan. I've got appointments set, and if they have to be moved, they have to be moved.
Right. Yeah. You have a great point, especially with kids and COVID, and have some of the kids still have to stay home, and there's a lot of top agents that I know of who take their kids on showings and get permission from the client. The clients don't mind at all sometimes. And so yeah, thank you for giving that example. Kyle, how about yourself?
Maybe it's just me, but I still always feel like I'm never going to sell another house. So I have to go. And we're going to sell 210 homes this year. So my daily schedule is legit prospect, network, continue all the time. I am fortunate and lucky enough that I have two wonderful, amazing assistants that actually help me with all my paperwork, that help me with showings. So that's the one thing that I can say is I've learned what I'm really good at, and that's just building these relationships with people, staying focused on them, and then having the right people also behind me to back me up to help with things like even showing properties, writing contracts. I mean, I had to do a multiple offer, get a contract out last weekend, and I had no idea what I was doing, which is silly. I've been doing this for 16 years, but I haven't touched an actual contract in a long time, or like writing my own. So I felt pretty useless, but it's also a big part of our job. So I had to get my closing coordinator involved to help me. Other than that, the schedule for me is I'm still active. I still show property. I still go on listing appointments. I have those other 5 actual agents out there selling, so they'll get some leads from us too. But we try to build it to where everybody's got their own business for the long term, and it's all referrals.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. So that just rolling into our next question, it kind of goes hand in hand with the schedule. Well, somewhat. But the question is, what's your secret sauce? And this could be a lead source. This could be a daily action that you do. But if you can attribute your success to a secret sauce, what is that specifically? Kyle, we'll start with you.
For me, it's just being yourself, being honest. I can tell you my secret sauce as far as buckets and finding leads was not paying for them. I started this job, this business with no money at all. And I started playing hockey because it's something I love to do. So I would just say, find your passion, find something you love to do. Real estate might be one of them, but what's on top of that you'll do every day? Maybe it's yoga, maybe it's a church thing, a book club, but find those buckets that you absolutely love to do, that it doesn't feel like you're working and you're just going to meet people that you care about and you have something in common interest. Just build on that. If you know anybody in Charlotte that plays hockey, I probably know them, just because I'm there. I'm there at least once a week. I'm in their faces. I've got marketing throughout the rink now. It's incredible that that's my secret sauce. Getting to do something else I love every single week and talking to the guys. That's it.
Amazing. Thank you, Kyle. Good stuff. Michelle, we'll roll back to you.
Okay, so I would say, kind of a tough question. I would definitely say that I am really, really, really good at kind of being a chameleon and connecting to my buyers, and to my, when I go out on listing presentations, to find that one thing that makes them just feel safe with me. So, and I think I do that really well. As far as for other agents, I think that there's something special that makes us all unique. And to just kind of add on what was just being said, you need to find what that is about you. And for me, you know, I'm a mom. Like I'm a hugger, I'm a mom, I make people feel safe and comfortable, and I deal with a lot of people who have never bought property in Florida. And I kind of give them this calmness, like that, you know, don't worry, you can trust me. Like I won't let you fall. Like you're not going to lose your deposit. Like I'm here for you. And then a lot of my sellers, I don't even meet them. They live, you know, out of the state, out of the country, you know, and they talk to me on the phone. And then the next thing I know, they're mailing me their key and they're trusting me to sell this property. But it's because I made them feel safe over the phone. And I think that for everybody out there, the number one thing that you could listen, when I go on listing presentations, what I talk about least is the actual property that is being sold. I just relate to the seller and see what they're what their problem is, and then I give them a solution. And I think that that's really important. Just like, all my kids are unique. You got to find what's unique about you. There's something real special about everybody out there. And once you hone in on it, like you'll kind of rule your market. I promise you, that's exactly what I do. And now I beat out, 20-year veterans on this island. And I get the listings, just cause I just have that way about me. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Michelle. Kristen.
Kyle and Michelle, that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. There's definitely some ahas that I captured from both of you guys right there. Kyle, I can 100% relate to that feeling of, oh my gosh, are we ever going to get another listing? Are we ever going to get another buyer? We've seen ups and downs in our business over the last 6 years. We've just been doing this, just that short period of time. But it's the loaded question is, how do you grow something that's sustainable, that can function without you? If you get sick, or if, God forbid, something terrible should happen, what happens to this business? And we had a little bit of a revelation in the last, I would say, 18 months to 24 months, where we have, we've had certain teammates depart, and then we've kind of reevaluated things. And, here we are in the last, I would say, quarter, kind of getting amped back up again after really, kind of getting, my husband and I got into production a little bit more, and it was going fantastic, and we can certainly do it. And we do it like a well-oiled machine. But there's this pressure, right? This pressure of always, prospecting and where's that next piece of business going to come from, when your model is a model that is not one of purchasing leads. So our team actually here in the last just 30 days has been toying with some things with some lead generation sources that is an uncomfortable thing for us, because there's nothing better than working with somebody who knows you and knows your work ethic and trusts you. It's a very easy, you don't feel like there's sales in that. It's you're an advocate for them, and they trust you as such. So one of the things that we've just in the last 30 days have been experimenting with is Zillow. And so far we're operating in the black, which is good. So we're going to give it 6 months and see how it goes. For us, we wanted our agents that we brought on board to have a bit more of an instant gratification, and take a little bit of the pressure off of me, because in the years past, 90% of what had been given to all the agents was driven by my sphere. So sphere, how do I keep up with my sphere? How have we been able to extract 100+ units a year without purchasing leads? And I welcome and invite everyone in the room to just go look at Kristen Vining on Facebook, and keep up with it. As a matter of fact, I was sitting here looking at right now, and I might be a little heavy on EXP right now. My sphere might be going, hey, seriously, Kristen, you need to tone it down on the stock and tone it down on, the new agents that we've attracted over that have joined us. Of course, I had to take a screenshot of the mask and the witch's hat, because I think it's just so much fun. But again, this is the business card, right? This is, for everyone in the room right now, I would love for us to keep in touch, right? Because who knows? I'm looking up here and I see, Sam in Southern California, that I don't have a lead come over later today where somebody's saying, hey, do you have an agent that in Southern California and San Diego? And then I can be like, actually, I was just in this class this morning and I met Sam and blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, it's just a beautiful way for us to keep in touch with our buyers and sellers, and us to keep in touch with each other as colleagues. It's so cool that Kyle's here. Michelle, I want to get to know you better. Trent, I think you and I have served up here before. So I really need to pick your brain on the investment side of things, because it's just something that we've started playing with this last year. So how cool is it that we can all collaborate here together and mastermind together? And, I'm sitting in an office with my shoes kicked off and sitting back in my chair, and it's just, what a remarkable thing. I love this company.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kristen. Likewise. Trenton, how about you?
Yeah.
Secret sauce.
Yeah, I think just to kind of touch on what everybody said, Kristen, Michelle, Kyle, they all were talking about their unique value propositions. So that is really what everyone's quote unquote secret sauce is. What do you uniquely bring to the table? It could be your personality, it could be your knowledge, it could be, just the way you work the market that you're in. But I believe that's the key, is to know what your value proposition is or create one, and then put that out there to potential prospects and leads that you're trying to work. And then also just the persistence and consistency. Even when Kristen just mentioned, she's running her Zillow campaign and she said 6 months. She didn't say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. That's a commitment to say, I'm going to invest into this. I'm going to stay consistent and persistent until I see some results. So I think not to say that you have to invest money, but your time, your sweat equity, putting that work in until you start seeing some results, and don't give up too soon. Stay motivated, get around people that can make sure you're going in the right direction, and keep pushing, keep trying new things, stay open-minded. And then also figure out what business model you want. All of us up here on the stage kind of have a little different business models. So figure out what works well for you. Try it, and you only can do that by talking to people and trying different things. So, don't stop moving though. Don't just sit and try to wait for something to just develop in front of you, or take someone else's model and think that that's just going to work for you. You got to keep moving, but keep trying new things, and just stay motivated. And I think over time that'll it'll show results. So that's what I would say is to how you can find your own secret sauce.
Awesome. Yeah, great advice, Trenton. All right, we're gonna move on to the next question. So I like this question because I like to see how you guys get down, and you think Kyle and Kristen kind of mentioned how having that feeling of not knowing where your next listing might be coming from, or so the question is, when your business feels like it's falling behind, what do you do? What is the action that you take to go for as a booster? So say you might be predicting a slow month, or you're going through a slow month, or you're just getting ramped up as a newer agent. What kind of activity or action do you take in order to go to get a boost in your business? And Trenton, we'll start back with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just talking to an agent I was mentoring just the other day, and he was talking about this. And I say, you got to go back to your fundamentals, just to work in your sphere. If you feel lost sometimes, it's like tap into your sphere, tap into all those leads and all those people that you've worked with in the past. Drum up some referrals, like all the people that you have from your past. If you've closed, however many deals in the past, contact those people, get referrals, get references, talk to your sphere, get on social media. Like what Kristen was saying, don't give out your card, give out your Facebook, give out your social media, let people connect with you and start working those things. The agent I was speaking with, he was so caught up on generating leads and paying for them or buying for some leads. And I'm like, did you work your neighborhood? Like, do people in your neighborhood know that you're a real estate agent? Do your friends and family know you're a real estate agent? Does your high school and college friends know you're a real estate agent? I say you need to be Mr. Real Estate. When people go on your page, they know you're all about real estate. So when you start reaching out to them and trying to get referrals from them, they understand you're a professional. That's what you do, and that's what you're about. So I say when you're feeling like things are going slow and you need to drum up some more business, go back and reach out to all your circle of friends, family, and associates, and then reach out. If you have done transactions, reach back out to your old transactions, clients, and get referrals.
Spot on, Trenton. Thank you. Kristen, how about you?
Yeah, Trent, that was good. Yeah, so when things are taking a little bit of a twist or a turn for us, man, we just got to get dirty. You got to get out there. So a couple of different things that we're probably getting dirty right now, I'm not gonna lie. So things have been a little bit, we've closed out a lot of our units, and again, not to go back to the whole adage of what you focus on expands, but it's so true. So I find when I'm focusing a little bit more maybe on my flips, I see production go down. When I'm focusing over here on the team and production, then I'm kind of like, releasing and relinquishing some of that control to the GC and letting them do letting those trades and the people that I'm hiring do what they do best, right? So, so a couple of things that we're doing right now that might be helpful for people is a picture's worth 1,000 words. So I love all things pretty. I love photography. I shot weddings for many moons prior to getting into real estate, and had an absolute blast doing that. And so I encourage everyone in the room to never post on social media anything without a photograph. Even if you can't find the photograph that's truly speaking in regards to the content that you're trying to get out there, there's an app called Word Swag. So if you take the app Word Swag and you can take your message and make it impactful by using the whole line of thinking less is more, and pop the headline or the catchphrase that's going to capture people and that they're going to listen to what you're writing, that's, can kind of take the picture or take the place of a picture. But, I would get out there and get to model homes, even though in these COVID times, it might be a little bit more difficult to get into those homes. But I encourage people to get out there and go take pictures of interiors and, the latest trends in color palettes, because that's what captures people's eyes. And then again, if you're giving that information of value, they're always going to remember you when it comes time for anybody in and around them with real estate needs. The other thing that we're doing right now is, and I'll attach it here in the box, is we don't do postcards. I know a lot of people have success with that kind of farming. But what we do is a letter, and it's very informal. We try to make it look as real as possible and not like an advertising piece. And the message can be different for each neighborhood. So I'll attach a couple of letters that we have going out in the mailboxes right now. We got a house under contract in the neighborhood. And rather than putting postcards like, hey, this house just sold for X amount of dollars, call me. It's more like, we went in multiple offers. We've got buyers right now that want to buy your house. Do you have any plans to sell now or in the near future? Please call us. And when you take that approach, there's something enticing about that. It's almost like that person receiving it is asking themselves, is this legit? Because, I kind of am thinking about selling my house, and maybe I don't have a realtor yet, or maybe I do, or maybe I'm just going to call my realtor and say, hey, I got this letter in the mail. Is this like a for real thing? The whole point in it is to get people to call you. That's it. Get them picking up the phone, and then from there you can build that relationship. So again, for us, it is the sheer hustle of social media and using and leveraging that to its maximum potential with photography and with valuable information, and then letters right now.
That's awesome. Great info, Kristen. Downloaded Word Swag too. Michelle, we got you next.
I think it's really important that agents have a niche as part of their business. So for example, like I specialize in condo sales. That's kind of my thing. And when people think of condos, they think of Michelle Rinaldi. I think that there are so many agents out there. It's really important to think of a way to set yourself apart from everybody else. And then that's why you should choose something to specialize in. Like a doctor would choose a specialty, like agents should choose something that they are known for. And it'll kind of set yourself apart from the rest. I like the condo market if you want to specialize in first-time home buyers, if you want to specialize in new construction, and then just really familiarize, I can't speak, sorry. Familiarize yourself with that niche and add it and tie it in to your business. And that's something that you could maybe start to do when your business does take a lull, and then kind of revamp yourself that way. I think it's really important for all industries, but especially real estate agents, because there's just so many of us out there that, we need to make people think of us for maybe a specific area of the real estate market.
Awesome. That's great advice. Thank you, Michelle. Kyle, how about you?
All right, so everybody's had a great great response so far. Trent, Kristen, Michelle, going with the referrals. That's exactly what I was going to lead with, but you guys beat me to it. We do every year. I'll go back through and call all my past clients, or text them, or email them, or invite them to an event. When things get tough, I can tell you, and a lot of our other agents that we have, I'm like, guys, fake it till you make it. Social media is not what we all post. It's what we want the world to see, right? Some people are probably a little bit too much just flying off their sleeve, whatever they think and whatever they feel. But most of us will post the good stuff or maybe the bad stuff. But I tell my agents, like, yeah, go out there, go show some new construction homes. All you have to do is post that you're out there in those neighborhoods, post that you're doing an open house, and actually do the open house. There's a lot of things that we do to drum up that business again, but the number one thing was always going back to referrals for me. But we do spend money. I'll tell you right now that for the fourth quarter final challenge that I gave my team last week was I gave them all $500 to go do whatever they wanted, as long as it was doing something for the client, get them fired up. We are very close to hitting our yearly goal. Even with COVID, we never changed our goal. It was, let's go, let's rock it out no matter what. And that's what we did was, hey, go do something, spend this money on the team. You each get it. Now figure out what that's going to be.
That's awesome. Love that. Love that idea, Kyle. All right. So we're getting to our time limit here pretty soon. So just wanted to close out with a question regarding what do you guys do specifically to invest in yourself, whether that's, investing in education, coaching, maybe a mastermind. What is it that you do to invest in your own growth? And Kyle, we'll start it out with you.
Give me that question one more time. Something about our growth.
Yeah, where do you invest in yourself, in your education, coaching, or your growth, even if it's a personal thing that you do? I know you mentioned hockey, but do you invest in any type of education or coaching?
I do not have a per se coach. I have a COO that used to be a coach, and she runs my life for me. It's pretty amazing. Her name is Jody. Some of you know her. But I do mastermind a ton with agents way bigger than I am. So I used to, when I first got in this business, I thought that knowing the agents wasn't going to matter because we were all competing, until it really came around to, you know what, I can learn something from these people. There's agents here in Charlotte that I talk to every week or every month that sell way more than me. And I'm like, well, hey, how are you doing this? What are you doing this? You can always just bounce ideas. I've got no problem hitting Kristen up, but there's some people like to keep all their stuff to themselves. I'm an open book. I will share everything. And if you want to go copy it, great. I'll tell you what didn't work for me, what did work for me. But that's really it. Just having a mentor or somebody bigger and bigger and bigger that you respect and can almost look at as your mentor. That's what I do.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. Michelle.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Yeah. What do you do to invest in yourself in terms of education, coaching? Are you part of a mastermind? What do you do to stay sharp and make sure you're continuing to grow?
Well, I think for starters, I just make sure that I'm the go-to person in my farm area, that I know, everything that's going on in my market. So I like to stay on top of that, new construction, what's selling, what's under contract. This way, if I get a call, I can speak intelligently and relay information to the buyer or the seller. Aside from that, I spend money on myself. I really believe in marketing. I put back into my business quite a bit money so I can stay on the forefront of everybody else's mind. I think I don't have a coach. I do listen to a lot of what other agents are doing at EXP, and then watch what other agents are doing in my market area, so I can think of how to do things differently and do things better. When I get their mailers or when I see their advertising, or if they go on listing presentations, just try to come in at a different angle and stay on top of my competition, which is other agents where I specialize in.
Perfect. Thank you, Michelle. Kristen.
That's a great question. So I love Spotify and I love to listen to podcasts. So if I'm, out on a morning walk or I'm driving in the car, I try to fill my noodle with as much as I can that will, just inspire and motivate. And it doesn't have to be all real estate related. A lot of it is just business related. There's so many parallels that are, there's so many parallel businesses out there that are applicable to what we do in terms of growth and whatnot. So I feel like I stay in a constant state of being, especially since coming over to EXP, and and I know it's all in God's timing and there's a time and place for everything. But, had I said yes the year prior to those who were trying to share the model with us, that we kept, that I kept my eyes closed to, what that picture would look like now. But again, it's timing is everything. It's all in God's time. So, but it's, for us, it's really just kind of staying engaged in everything. I had a MAPS coach when I was at KW. I don't currently have a coach now. I have a lot of mentors. And I just, like Kyle said, I really try to align myself with people. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. So there's so much to learn from engaging with others who have gone before us and learning through their trials and errors.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Kristen. Trenton.
Yeah, just to kind of pretty much feeding off of what everyone else has mentioned. And I personally had a coaching. I had a coach. It was some years back. I did the Robert Kiyosaki Rich Dad program, and it was a course and a mentor I was assigned, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot just about investing and different investment models through there, and then. Since then, I do YouTube. I go on YouTube a lot. I'll try to learn as much as I can from different resources, regardless of where it's from. I get a lot of stuff from EXP when I come into sessions like this or the masterminds. And then, like kind of what Kristen mentioned, also just look at overall business and market trends. So I'll look at just what's going on in the markets, in the financial markets, look at what's going on with the housing indexes, look at the construction builder indexes, just kind of seeing what the temperature is as far as like new home builders, seeing how sales are moving, and it'll kind of help you look around the corner a little bit when you're looking at the market, you're looking at conditions going on, and you can kind of have an idea where things are headed. So that's what I like to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds like everybody's pretty resourceful when it comes to staying in growth mode and getting that dose of inspiration to keep going. I do the same thing.
Somebody just asked about YouTube. For on YouTube, I just look at anything related to anything real estate related. If you're trying to think about lead generation, if you're trying to think about just growing your business or anything, like I just search on YouTube, just see what other people are doing. Like people are always sharing information, not to even mention everything they shared in EXP, like all the resources, all these sessions are recorded. So it's like there's an archive. You can have access to all this information plus everything that you might find on YouTube and social media. Just researching what other people are doing and hearing people's stories, hearing their business models, what they're doing uniquely that you can kind of pull from. So what I like to do, I get information from everywhere and I pull bits and pieces from everybody's model, and I might use it to enhance my model or to create a new one possibly. So that's my method.
Awesome. Thank you, Trenton. Well, guys, our time is up. Do you guys have anything that you'd like to leave the audience with? Any tips for the newer agents or any agents trying to hit the icon status?
I have one quick piece of advice. Know your numbers. Know your numbers. If you're new to this and you're looking for a way to track your numbers, we personally love CTE, and I'll add that hyperlink to the box as well. You know, when we share this model with other agents at other brokerages, and you know, we get into the nitty-gritty of their business and ask them, how are things looking this year for you? You know, what volume are you going to close out? How many units? What's your average price point? And when they say, oh, I have no idea, girl, I have no idea. I don't know my numbers. I don't know. I'm doing good. I want to come out of my skin. It is so easy for us to track what we do, especially if you guys are just getting started. And even for the veterans, I mean, if you're, man, you got to know your numbers, right? If you're running a business, otherwise, what are we doing? So I'm going to attach that link right there. But that's my biggest piece of advice to everyone, is just to be able to, at any given time, kind of spit out your numbers.
Great advice. Great advice. Anybody before we just wrap this thing up here on the panel? Sorry.
Somebody asked twice about the icon status. When does it start? It's all on your anniversary date. I think it was Holly, maybe. So whenever you join, that's when it starts.
Okay. Well, we see the link for tracking your numbers to Kristen in the chat box. Guys, thank you all for sharing. I think there was a lot of nuggets in this session. If you guys want to watch the replay, I believe they're on YouTube, or I think there's even a video in Workplace as well. So we hope to see you guys soon, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Appreciate it, Ray. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Great job, Ray. Thank you all.